Hey Squires, Editor Knight here with a little bit of information that's going to make this episode of The Breakdown make a little bit more sense. In this episode, you're going to hear Mango and I talk about a song we call Desecration. This song was a precursor name for Precipice, and it is not the same thing as the song that is now on my channel with the title Desecration. Even though they share the same name and they're both Tommy songs, they were different songs. This recording was done before the new song was written or released, hence why that will not come up in this discussion. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this longer episode of the Babel Has Fallen breakdown.
So, we've talked about Beloved, we've talked about Haunted, and it's now time for the last song of the Bench Trio songs, Precipice.
This one took a while.
This one is like, this one is the source of my frustration. Or at least it was for forever. This was the spring song of frustration. In the end was the summer song of frustration. They just kind of, as soon as we finished Precipice, we came up with or what became in the end, and it was just like another round of frustration with a single song. Just back to back. At least they weren't overlapping. But yeah, Precipice.
Yeah, I think we decided Rambu and Tubbo had a song, so we needed to do a third Bench Trio song.
Yeah, I mean, technically we could have done Tommy in any number of ways. I think there was a point where I was considering making his style a little bit closer to My Turn to Rise, or even Prometheus. But I think we settled on having the Bench Trio, because we hadn't really seen that dynamic in a song before. Like, we'd seen Tubbo and Tommy, we'd seen Tommy and Techno, we'd seen Tommy and Wilbur, but, I mean, Precipice doesn't really focus on Tommy and Ranbu, but just because of that melodic association, it brings the trio together.
Right. You could also call this one an anachronism because it references Beloved and Haunted, but chronologically and in the order of the album, this one comes first, which is very interesting.
It makes for an interesting listening experience, for sure.
Yeah.
If you ever want an interesting, different listening experience for Babel Has Fallen, after I put out this analysis of the album, I'm actually going to be including a playlist of all the songs from Babel Has Fallen in the order that we wrote them. Not the order they came out, not the order that they are in the album, the order we wrote them in. And therefore, the order that we, were thinking them through. Because, for example, This Tragedy of Mine was written before Heart of Stone. It was written before, I think it was even written before Precipice.
Was it?
Well, we wrote it back in March. I don't think we finished Precipice till April.
Wow.
No, it was June. We didn't finish Precipice until June.
I want to see this playlist. I'm not sure I remember the order we wrote them in.
I have the order we wrote them in, and so I'm going to be linking that here. But you'll see how late in the process Precipice was. I think it was like the fourth to last song.
Wow.
I think Heart of Stone, In the End, and Burning Pages came after it, and that was it. Precipice was super late.
To be fair, we knew for a long time we wanted to write a Tommy song, and we knew for a long time that it was going to be a Bench Trio song. And I think you'd already decided by that point that all the Bench Trio songs were going to be in 3/4 timing. But we just couldn't get the Tommy song right.
It took us so long. And that's what we called it for the longest time. It was called the Tommy song. Because we went back and forth on so many names.
Yeah, at one point we were trying to get a pattern because we had Beloved, Haunted, and then we wanted a name that kind of matched that.
I think originally we were like, let's find a 2-syllable word that is 7 letters long, just like Haunted and Beloved.
That ends in ED.
Like, we were super specific, and that was definitely dampening our creative juices, because we were so stuck.
And then you came up with Desecration.
Yeah, then we came up with Desecration. I don't even remember how I came up with Desecration. I had a line.
I don't know.
I should pull up the Desecration document. I have a separate document for Desecration.
Do you? Oh
I
wait,
do.
hold on. I should
Let
pull
me
that
pull
up
this.
too.
Let me pull this up. Do I have it shared with you? If
I
not, I'll share it with you.
I don't have it.
Okay, I'm gonna share it with you.
We rewrote this song like a good 3 times. Like it was a rap at one point.
Well, originally we were trying to write like a 3/4 timing rap, which was a nightmare. I just remember a late night working on that, and then we completely scrapped it a few weeks later. Like it was just, it was so bad. Like this is a 10-page document of just scrapped ideas.
There's some great ones in here though. It's kind of a shame.
There's a lot of cool stuff. That, to be fair, when we wrote Desecration, that's when we came up with the haunted bridge that ended up being used in Precipice. Like, we loved that bridge, so we had to keep it in Precipice. That was our favorite part.
That was the coolest thing. I loved that so much.
So Haunted's my favorite song, right? But
Mhm.
that bridge of Precipice is probably my favorite part of any song in the album.
I remember obsessing over that. I still kind of do.
For those of you who don't remember, it's the haunted, I'm haunted, this is not what we wanted, it's all never ending, we're only kidding ourselves. It's a twisted version of the haunted melody, and but that's the only thing we kept from Precipice. Not Precipice, from Desecration. I could give a little bit of what Desecration sounded like, because I have the lyrics right here, and I remember. It's like,
You want to sing it? I should not be singing it.
we survived the battle, we survived at Babel. With me since the start, we'll never split apart again. We're gonna fight, it's not our final night. And with you at my side, we'll get back what is mine. I don't remember this pre-chorus. Haunted by the memories of all that he's done. Oh, that's how it was. We've always lost and he's always won. But this time it's our turn to change the tides. It's our turn to rise. So if you remember, that's supposed to be a Wilbur reference there at the end, back to My Turn to Rise.
Yeah, I was gonna say Wilbur must have come out by then.
That was a My Turn to Rise reference. So you can kind of see there a lot of the references and ideas from this original song were in Precipice. Like, we brought them back to Precipice, just in a different way. Here's what happened. We never came up with a verse 2 or a chorus. I think that's why we got stuck with Desecration. We couldn't come up with a good chorus.
Yeah.
We never came up with a good chorus.
We had cool pre-choruses. Like, actually, you should read pre-chorus 3 too, because I think that was really pretty cool.
Pre-chorus 3. Oh, it's haunted by the memories of all that he's done. We've always lost and he's always won. But this time he won't get away with his crime. His tyranny is over. His cruelty's known. That one?
Yeah. I don't know. I like that one a lot still. Oh, down here you were trying to explain to me how rap works.
Wait, where?
Yeah, like if you scroll down a couple pages, you can see verse 1, and you can see you divided up the words by syllables to try to explain to me how rap works.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I was trying to show you how timing works.
Oh, was that it?
These are beats.
You still can't explain to me how timing works. I don't get it.
I know, I've tried so many times to explain 3/4 timing versus 4/4 timing to Mango. It's ridiculous.
The thing you guys need to understand is that I'm a lyrics person, and she's also a lyrics person, but she's the music person. I don't do the music. I helped a little bit out with Beloved's melody, actually. And I think I came up with some harmonies for the Prometheus chorus, but that's pretty much been it as far as the actual music goes. I can't imagine sound. So trying to come up with music is just, I can't do it. And so as far as I'm concerned, what happens is that we write things together and we come up with cool lyrics and rhythms and stuff. And then it's like drawing a picture in black and white. And then I come back later and she's made it into like a full color masterpiece. And it's just, I can't comprehend how she does it. I don't know, but it's really cool and I'm really impressed.
I mean, that's fair. For most of it, you help so much with the lyrics, and it's always so fun. But it is true, I do all of the musical and production legwork.
Yeah, you do.
Just because that's more my area.
And it's really impressive. I don't understand how you do it. I've tried really hard, but I don't get it.
I mean, it's a little bit easier for me, because unlike Mango, I have hyperphantasia, which means I can visualize both visuals and audio in my brain. And so while we're talking about these lyrics and all these ideas and these melodies as we're writing songs, in my head I've already got like, okay, so then the guitar would sound like this, and maybe we'd have a drum beat like this in the background, and Mango's just like nodding along, being like, sure.
Yeah, I have aphantasia, so I don't have the visuals, I don't have the sound, I don't have anything. I just have abstract words and rhythms. That's all I got. And so my experience is very different than her experience. So as far as I'm concerned, it just kind of comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, that's what it sounds like. Epic.
Like, I can try to explain as much as I want, being like, oh, but then it would sound like this. No, I have to just completely do the song and then show Mango, and then she's finally like, oh, that's what you were talking about with all those weird sounds. Like, yeah, that's what the bada-bada-bada-bada-bada sound meant when I was trying to show that to you.
I can understand rhythms, but when you try to transform into something like 3/4 timing, or like try to explain to me what an instrument would sound like, you lost me.
Yeah, Precipice is this last one of this trio. Took us forever to write it, but when we and we looked at this yesterday. It took us so long. We were wrestling with desecration for literally months. And then one day, I think I came up with, we're here at the crossroads, we're here at the threshold, the crossroads, the precipice. And I shared that with you. And then we wrote Precipice in one day, in one sitting.
That tends to be how it is. We struggle over a song and then it clicks. And we're like, oh!
Yeah, like as soon as these songs click, we'll write it in a single sitting. In like an hour or two.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Precipice was that way. I think we were just trying to force it so much with desecration in the earlier versions.
Oh, okay. I need you to jump where I am right now in the document real quick.
In desecration?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a You Dreamed a Dream outro for this song.
I forgot about that.
I forgot about that too.
No, because this was actually where I got the chorus for In the End. That's where I came up with the You Dreamed a Dream. I think it ended up and You Locked Me Away. But the original version, which was from the original Tommy song, was We Dreamed a Dream and You Took It Away. And now you're here and there is hell to pay. You're no god. Face the odds. Time to face the wrath of all. You burned our flag and called it yours. No time to brag, since I can't assure your demise, no sunrise. Today's the day the Titan falls.
Man, I didn't realize you'd pull that from there.
It was heavily drawn off the Tommy, because I really wanted that in the Tommy song. Because it was like a revenge version of You Dreamed a Dream. And I was like, oh yeah, Tommy.
Yeah.
But then it ended up working really well for Dream later.
I mean, we still have echoes of it in Precipice if like we actually look at the lyrics.
Yeah, we do.
We talk about Babel, like Tommy accepts the description of Lemberg as Babel for Precipice.
Which, if you think about it, like the three main songs that have Babel references are You Dreamed a Dream, Prometheus, and Precipice. Those are the three off the top of my head I could tell you have a Babel reference, right? And they're the first three songs of the album.
Yeah.
We get them bam, bam, bam. We get Babel, Babel, Babel. Which I don't think was intentional, but it just worked out that way.
Yeah. What was I looking for? I was looking for something. Oh, the I Don't Care. We talked about that already.
Yes, we have to talk about I Don't Care. This is the second instance. Or, actually, this is one of the later instances, because we wrote it later. But this is the second one we've come across.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the I Don't Care, which comes up in the chorus. So in You Dreamed a Dream, it comes up as a part of the verses. But here we have the And I don't care. No. I don't care. No. How's it go?
Yeah, that's it. Wait, no.
No,
hang on.
That's the original
that's
I Don't
Wilbur.
Care. No, that's the
Right, that's-
original
yeah.
I Don't Care.
I get them
Like-
all mixed up.
Who thought it would come to this? But I don't care what he says is meant to be. That, but I don't care, I believe is a harmony of and I don't care. No, that is another harmony. Hold on. It's I don't. Now I don't even know what the original song is.
I gotta
So
go
many
compare
iterations.
the sound clips. It's hard when you have the same lines sung so many different ways to keep track of which is which.
I know. Because originally it was because that's the harmony in My Turn to Rise. It's and I don't care. What is it in You Dream to Dream? And I don't care. Nope. How does You Dream to Dream go? Look around, there's nowhere to hide. You've been a constant thorn in my side. And I don't care what you want. That and I don't care is the original. And I think every other instance of I don't care is either that melody or a harmony of that melody.
Mm-hmm.
Don't quote me on that. I wasn't exactly as precise with Precipice because it's in major key. But besides Precipice, every other instance of that line is a harmony of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it comes back up here, which is literally Tommy taking Dream's lines from You Dream to Dream and saying them back, but turning them in a positive light.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because Dream, 2 songs earlier, sings, and I don't care what you want, go ahead and despair. Tommy's now singing, and I don't care what he says. I don't care what he says is meant to be. So Dream says, I don't care about you, I don't care about your demise, and Tommy says, I don't care what you have to say. Which is a very Tommy thing to say if you think about it in that context.
I also think it's kind of interesting because even though chronologically this hasn't happened yet, he does steal Rambu's haunted line.
He does.
And he twists that too.
Mm-hmm. Twisting everyone's words.
Even though he says we were only kidding ourselves, it echoes the same idea, we were only pretending.
Mm-hmm.
But he takes a very different route than Rambu does. And I think that's why he gets a different ending.
Because he doesn't accept his fate. He's haunted by what could happen. He's haunted by their past actions. But he's not going to let himself continue be haunted by these memories.
Yeah.
He's going to change the story. He's not going to accept it like Ranbu does later.
Yeah. The sad thing about Rambu's character is that he's struggling with all this, but he can't ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
He can't communicate. He knows he has regrets and he has concerns and he's trying to fix it, but he can't do it by himself. And he won't talk to Tubbo about it. And that's kind of really, I think, what destroys the relationship in the end. I mean, he doesn't talk to Techno about it. He doesn't talk to Bill about it. Like, there's so many people he could have talked to. He could have talked to Sam. But in the end, he tried and he couldn't make himself do it.
Mm-hmm.
And even though technically Sam was what killed him, I think his character really faded away because he could not ask for help. But that's not how Tommy does things.
Like, Tommy, he puts on this, his character is who we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He puts on this character of, I'm a big man, I can do whatever I want, I don't need any help. But he's almost the first person who would ask for help. Like, of all the characters, he's the character that I would say would be the first to ask for help actively.
In the end, I think he's the only one who's actually ever managed to unite the server for any reason.
Multiple times.
That's really telling.
Like, Wilbur did it, but he gave up.
Right.
And Tommy kind of picks up where he leaves off and manages to do what Wilbur wasn't.
Right. But, I think that's even more significant simply because, there are a lot of people who didn't like Tommy for various reasons. They had feuds. There were several people trying to kill him, if I remember correctly, when this takes place. This is the final disc conflict.
Yeah, this is the final disc complex song.
And several of the people that show up to take a stand with him and take a stand against Dream are people who are plotting to kill him.
Or have in the past.
There's something about Tommy that can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. And I think this song sort of reflects that, where he's not going to give up. He's not going to just let things happen.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to change things. Even in the darkest hour, he's not going to give up hope.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to change the story.
Yeah. And that's why Precipice is amazing and underrated. I mean, it's got a lot more views now than it used to, but when it first came out, I was actually kind of sad because it didn't get nearly as much reception as some of the other songs did.
I want to say it was one of the least watched songs of the album before the album came out.
Which is just tragic because it feels like another finale song, even more so than Haunted was. And I think we learned a lot from Haunted on how to make it better.
We learned from every single song how to make each one better.
That's probably my number 3. We got Beloved and This Tragedy of Mine tied for 1. And then this one is next on the list, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. For sure. And then all three of these songs, bench trio songs, Precipice, Haunted, and Beloved, you can actually put them on top of each other and they'll fit. Not perfectly, you'll have to do some tweaking because some of the verses are longer than others or some of the choruses are longer, but they're all in the same key. I think they're all the same tempo. So they are supposed to go over top one another if you do some fiddling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you hadn't figured that out yet. But yeah, they are supposed to all kind of fit together like little puzzle pieces, which is really fun. And those are the 3 that I did that the most intentionally.
Yeah. I love your little note here on this Word document. Originally, we were going to try to write this as a 3/4 timing rap because we were out of our minds.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's true. That's accurate. We were quite out of our minds. I think I remember putting something like that on Trashy Inferno's Discord server, being like, we're trying to write a 3/4 timing rap. Is this possible? And everyone on the Discord server was like, what? Are you crazy? What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's like, I can try.
We have a lot of fun in that server, I think. Just like with how little music theory you know.
Oh, I have like no music theory knowledge. I actually got a book a few weeks ago called Music Theory for Dummies, and I still haven't read it.
I just think that's great as you're kind of coming into this community of like other musicians who are like music majors and stuff, and you're just like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm doing it.
To be fair, at this point, I do play it up a little bit.
For sure, but especially back at the beginning there.
But back at the beginning, it was genuine. It's like, I didn't know what a DAW was. I didn't know anything. I still don't really know anything.
I still don't know what a DAW is.
Well, that's, yep. So half the time, now at this point, it's like half the time I actually know what people are talking about. And then like a third of the time, I don't know what people are talking about. But it's just because I don't know the names for things. And it's like, I just don't know the name, but I do know the thing or the concept. And I was like, as soon as they explain it, it's like, oh, it has a name. Great.
I am going to reiterate, though. You wrote Prometheus with no music theory or nothing.
Oh, yeah, that was way before I knew any of that. On a gaming mic. That I stole from my dad. I gave it back, but like it was just like I did it on a janky gaming mic in my closet, which is not a good place to record. Now I know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it like that song is scuffed as all get out, and yet
it's great. It's kind of great because it's stuffed.
Like Technoblade.
Yeah, it's in character. You gotta admit.
It's very in character.
I'm just realizing how much the keyword end comes up in all these songs. It's in Haunted, because it's all never ending.
Yeah.
It was in something else we were looking at a minute ago. I mean, it's a fairly common word, but still.
Yeah, again, and I tend to write an end with again a lot, so And I know I have again in a lot of songs.
Well, again is also a motif.
Yeah.
For the same
Which
character.
we haven't gotten to yet, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
I don't think that sort of wraps up the bench trio. So for now, I think let's move on to a new segment of this breakdown. And that is just some of our other songs that sort of fade into the background, I think.